Everyone. I wanted to talk to you about something that I thought you would be interested in. And I was going to actually try to repost something that I had put in the e-learning folder. So if you've been at the LHS Staff PLC folder, I believe that in Schoology How To, in the using annotating PDFs, I talked about having information about a Cami Annotation App, and then there was no link. So I thought I would go ahead and just talk to you about it now. So if you go to your drive and then you go to New, and then you go down here to More, and then you go down to Connect More Apps, it should take you to basically the Chrome Web Store or G Suite Marketplace. And if you type Cami and select the PDF and Document Annotation App, click on this. And so you can see a picture here where basically students can highlight, students can write on documents, draw, basically anything you upload in Schoology or maybe even share in Google Drive, it will let you do. And so it talks about things you can do on the free account and the teacher plan. And then they obviously will walk you through most things that you need. So I'm going to go up here and just click install and then continue. I'm going to wait just a little bit and I'll pick my school account, and it wants access to a lot of things and asks me if I trust Cami. I do. I'll click allow and let that install. So it told me it was installed and then asked if I want to make it the default app for files for it to open, and it's fine. You can pick that. You can always probably change that later. I'm sure you can change it later. Right now, we'll just go ahead and add it, and it tells us where to find Cami. So we'll look in that waffle picture when we are in Drive. So I'll close this, and I just opened a folder and I found a PDF. So I'm going to click on this PDF and wait for that to open. And even though I'm in Drive, it is opening with the Cami app, and then I will get all of the Cami tools. So if for any reason you gave students a PDF and they needed to mark on it, then they'll go over here and start looking at all of these tools. Now my Loom tools are also over here, so that makes it a little bit confusing. But if they need to write on it, we can go ahead and start looking at some of these tools. And I'll just pick a bright color so it shows up. So if you needed your students to circle some things or to highlight information, then they can start to use the tools that are available with Cami. Okay, I realize that last document wasn't the best choice. If you have something that you normally would have handed out in class, let's say just a sheet where they put in some answers, then one thing that they could do that might be fairly easy is just to click on the text box. And then if they start to click in there and they just want to add it to this, then they can just type on here, "Here is a wonderful response." And they could do that for the rest of these. I know it wouldn't be as nice and neat maybe as if they were handwriting on it, but this is an idea. Now, once they're done, so if they needed for any reason to do anything else, you could play around with some of these options, but mainly if you just want them to write on there. Now they can change this color and the size. So right now it says it's a 14, but it looks really small. So if I go up to a 24, then I think that looks a little bigger. Let's make it really big and see just what that looks like. So obviously, you might want to suggest a certain size, but then you have to worry about those lines there. So, and then they can pick a different color. So if you don't want any of those, then you can change that color. So on this, if I move the box, now it's a little better and we're in a better place to be able to read what they put. When they're done, there's a whole bunch of options up here, but mainly if you just want them to turn it in on Schoology, then they can download this document with the annotations, and they can change the file name. So I'm going to go, instead of calling it Cami Export, I'm just going to go ahead and erase that and then have it chapter 1 to 2 questions. And I'll go ahead and get all the pages and I'll hit begin export. And I'm going to authorize it to go to Google Drive. That's fine. I'll use my school account. And so you can do this with PDFs for things you want to upload. I'll go ahead and say allow again, even though we did that a little bit earlier. And it has downloaded down here. So if I go back up to Schoology and, okay, so I'm in Schoology as a student now, and I'll go to a course that I'm enrolled in, and I will upload that to one of my assignments. I'll go into an assignment that was already due, and let's pick assignment 3, and I'll go ahead over here to submit that assignment, and it should let me pick it just like I would any normal document. So I'll go to upload, I'll grab that file, and switch over here to downloads, click that chapter 1 to 2 questions, and insert that, and all is well with the world right now. I'll hit submit, and so it shows me I submitted it. Okay, it's late. I'm sorry about that. So now I'm into a course I made up, Schoology 101, where I'm the only student, and I'll go over here to assignment 3 because I know that's what I just turned in, and I'll click on needs grading, and I believe we are going to see the chapter 1 to 2 questions with some of those. I didn't make that many, but with the annotations. In fact, that's what showed up first. So this looks pretty good and might work for you if you need it. I know it's really late in the game, but I did think I already had this posted, and I was just sort of double checking things. So give it a try. Let me know if you have any questions.